In the blood-soaked twilight of the Heian period, when samurai banners fluttered across fields of fire and honor, was the sharpest sword a man could wield, there arose a warrior whose name struck both awe and fear across Japan: Minamoto no Yoshinaka. He was called Kiso Yoshinaka, the wild general, a man who rose from exile in the remote mountains to seize Kyoto itself, only to fall by the blades of his own kin. His life was a storm of ambition, loyalty, and betrayal, a tale that burned brightly and ended in tragedy, echoing through the centuries as one of the most dramatic sagas of the Genpei War 1180-1185. This is the story of Minamoto no Yoshinaka, cousin to the legendary Minamoto no Yoritomo, rival to Minamoto no Yoshitsune, and one of the most complex figures in samurai history. Born around 1154 into the proud Minamoto clan, Yoshinaka's early life was forged in loss. His father, Minamoto no Yoshikata, was slain by a rival branch of the family during the clan's bitter internal feuds. The boy escaped death only by fleeing to the distant mountains of Shinano province, where he was raised under the protection of the Kiso family. There, in the rugged highlands, he grew into a warrior hardened by isolation. Unlike the courtly nobles of Kyoto, Yoshinaka knew hunger, snow, and struggle. He was wild, headstrong, and proud, traits that would one day make him both feared and doomed. The Kiso Mountains gave him his other name, Kiso Yoshinaka, and from those peaks he dreamed not merely of survival, but of vengeance and glory. When the Genpei War erupted in 1180 between the Minamoto and the ruling Taira clan, Yoshinaka finally saw his chance. The war was a reckoning long in the making, nobles and warriors from across Japan taking sides in a struggle that would decide the empire's future. Yoshinaka's cousin, Minamoto no Yoritomo, raised his banner in the east, calling on all who bore the Minamoto name to fight for their clan's restoration. From his mountain exile, Yoshinaka gathered a small but fierce band of followers and pledged allegiance to Yoritomo, at least in word. In truth, Yoshinaka sought more than loyalty. He wanted to be the true savior of the Minamoto, the man who would crush the Taira and rule in glory. In 1181, Yoshinaka began his campaign in Shinano, driving out local Taira forces and winning one victory after another. His reputation spread quickly, his boldness and ferocity earning him the name Asahi Shogun, the rising sun general. His army grew with every success, and his ambitions expanded with it. He fought not for Yoritomo's command, but for his own legend. The people of the provinces saw in him a hero who fought for justice against the corrupt Taira who had bled Japan dry. But his victories came at a price. Yoshinaka's forces, often undisciplined mountain men, plundered as they marched. His name inspired awe but also fear. The decisive moment came at the Battle of Kurikara in 1183. Outnumbered and facing a massive Taira army, Yoshinaka used cunning rather than strength. He staged a brilliant ruse, sending oxen with torches tied to their horns charging into the Taira lines at night. Panic erupted as the Taira troops were blinded by the flames, their horses scattering in chaos. Yoshinaka struck with full force, routing the Taira and killing thousands. It was one of the most stunning victories in samurai history. For the first time, the seemingly invincible Taira were broken. Kyoto trembled. Yoshinaka was hailed as the hero of the Minamoto cause. Flushed with victory, Yoshinaka marched his army into Kyoto, the imperial capital, in mid-1183. The Taira had fled, taking the young Emperor Antoku with them. Yoshinaka entered the city as a conqueror, but power changed him. He now held the capital in his grasp, and with it the imperial court. He was granted the prestigious title of Asahi Shogun, and for a fleeting moment he stood as the most powerful man in Japan. Yet his triumph was short-lived. His cousin Yoritomo and Kamakura grew suspicious of his ambition. Kyoto's courtiers whispered that Yoshinaka had become arrogant, unruly, and disrespectful. His rough soldiers looted the city, further tarnishing his image. When Yoshinaka sought to assert control over the imperial court, attempting to take the emperor under his own protection, Yoritomo saw it as open rebellion. The two cousins who once fought for the same cause were now on the brink of war. In early 1184, Yoritomo dispatched his brothers Minamoto no Yoshitsune and Minamoto no Noriyori to deal with Yoshinaka. Yoshitsune, the poetic and brilliant general, was everything Yoshinaka was not: refined, strategic, beloved by the people. Their clash was inevitable. Yoshinaka, realizing his isolation, attempted to flee Kyoto with his loyal companion and lover, Tomoe Gozen, the legendary female samurai said to be as beautiful as she was deadly. Chroniclers described her as a match for 1,000 men. At the Battle of Awazu in the snowy fields of Jimi province, Yoshinaka made his final stand. It was a desperate fight. Yoshinaka's army, vastly outnumbered, was surrounded by Yoshitsune's forces. Still, he fought with the ferocity that had defined his life. Arrows rained down as the snow turned red. Tomoe Gozen fought by his side, cutting down enemy samurai before disappearing into legend, her fate never truly recorded. Yoshinaka's horse was mired in the mud, his armor heavy, his sword chipped. Knowing death was near, he is said to have prayed to die with honor, not by capture. A loyal retainer granted his wish, ending his life swiftly. Minamoto no Yoshinaka, the rebel of the mountains, the conqueror of Kyoto, and the terror of the Taira, was dead. He was just 30 years old. Yoshinaka's death marked the end of his wild ascent, but his story endured. His cousin Yoshitsune would go on to win immortal glory by crushing the Taira at Dan no Ura. Yet he too would meet a tragic end at the hands of Yoritomo. The Minamoto clan won the war, but their victories came soaked in the blood of brothers. Yoshinaka's legacy lived on as both a hero and a warning, a man whose ambition burned too brightly, whose heart refused submission, and whose rise from the mountains to the capital stands as one of Japan's most compelling legends. Even centuries later, poets and storytellers in Japan recited his tale. The boy orphan who grew into a general, the cousin who defied his kin, the wild lord who took Kyoto and lost everything. Minamoto no Yoshinaka was no saint. He was reckless, proud, and untamed, but he embodied the fierce spirit of the samurai age, to live boldly, to fight fiercely, and to die with honor. And so his name, Kiso Yoshinaka, endures like the mountain from which he came, rugged, unbending, eternal.